Shalom, shalom, Zion. Shalom to my family, to my mishpaka. Worldwide, all 12 tribes, shalom to you. Shalom to the older brother, Yahudah the lion. Shalom to the younger brother, Ephraim, the ox who has become all nations and with his horns has pushed all nations around because he is the ox. Shalom to you. The younger brothers, Ephraim, the prodigal son. Shalom to you. Shalom to you, Ger, who has come out of these lies, has thrown down your idols and forsaken your false worship and forsaken the lies of your father and has come out from among the nations and who has engrafted yourself into the Yahid, the only begotten son of Yahuwah, whom the covenants, the inheritance, and promise was given to alone, whereby now, because you have engrafted into us, you are now privy to the same covenants, the same inheritance, and the same promise that was given to the Yahid, the Bayif of Yasharal and Yasharal alone. Shalom, shalom to you worldwide, my mishpaka, all 12 tribes. Shalom to you on this yom. Mishpaka, I just wanted to make another quick video, something that Abba has deposited into my nafash, and it's another warning for you on this yom, Mishpaka. It is indeed another warning. And that warning is, Mishpaka, to beware of contaminated air. Beware of contaminated air. I'm not talking about chemtrails. Many of you who are in Zion are awake and you are familiar with chemtrails. But I submit to you that Yahuwah has declared that if we believe in his name, that we shall drink poison, it shall not harm us. So I'm not worried about them poisoning the air and poisoning the water and the soil. That's not for Zion. That's not for us. That's for the heathen. That's for the nations. That's not for us. But nevertheless, I'm not talking about that contaminated air. I'm not talking about that contaminated air. What contaminated air are you talking about, you're asking yourself? What contaminated air am I talking about? Let me preface that with something that Yahuwah revealed to me a few nights ago. As I was lying in bed asleep, I think around maybe the 9th hour of the night. That's usually when things happen. That's when them devils are most active. Around the 9th hour of the night, around 3 a.m. Those are called witching hours, and that's when them devils are most active. And that's usually when things start to happen with me anyway. I don't know about you. They still try me from time to time, but when I wake, I whip out my sword and they go to running. So they cowards. They toothless lions, Zion. They come when you're asleep. They're not men. They don't face you face to face. They wait till you're asleep until they come and attack. And then once you're awake and you whip out your sword, they go to running. But nevertheless, it happened around the 9th hour of the night. And I was lying there sleeping. And it was almost as though something was trying to cause me to inhale it. You understand? Something was trying to cause me to inhale it. And I was immediately woken by the Ruach HaKodesh, and instinctively, not by my own instinct, but by the urging of the Ruach HaKodesh, I blew out. I blew out. He later revealed to me that there was a Ruach trying to cause me to breathe it in. And he reminded me that the meaning of Ruach, Zion, is breath, is air, is wind. It is breath, it is air, it is wind. You see, Zion, This is how those devils enter. They have no physical form. They are breath. They are ruach. They are breath. They are air. They are wind. So they enter us via breathing. Via breathing. Only if, Zion, we are walking outside of the truth of Torah. You see, if we are walking in the light, if we're walking in the truth of Torah, then they have no, excuse me, then they have no dominion over us. They have absolutely no dominion over us. Case in point, that devil could not cause me to breathe it in. They have no dominion over us if we are walking in the light of Torah. You don't believe me? Does not Torah say that if we are careful to obey the Torah of Yah, then he will keep the sicknesses of Mitzrayim from us? Do you not understand that sickness is a result of demons? That sickness is a result of sin? That demonic possession is a result of sin? That sickness is a result of sin? That sickness indeed is a form of demonic possession because demons carry sickness? Do you not know that most sicknesses are airborne? Most viruses and bacteria and viral diseases are airborne. You breathe them in, carried by demons. We breathe them in, Zion. We breathe them in. Thus, we have to be careful of the air that we're breathing. If we're walking in the light of Torah, then we are breathing pure, uncontaminated air. I don't care what's going on around us. I don't care what's going on around us. His word declares that he has promised to keep the sicknesses of Mitzrayim from those who obey him. It further declares that he will keep the plague from coming near our tent. He will keep the deadly pestilence from coming near our tent. If we make Yahuwah, if we rest under the wings of the Most High, in the secret place of the Most High, and we are tabernacled with him, and we are in covenant with him, and we are keeping his commands, that has no authority over us. That has no power over us. But if you are not walking in the truth of Torah, then you are breathing contaminated air. You are breathing contaminated air. You are breathing in these ruachs that carry sickness and disease and has your mind warped and your body sick and broken down, such that you're confused and you're broken down and you're weak because you're breathing contaminated air because you will not obey the set apart Torah of the Most High Yah. You're breathing contaminated air. You are breathing contaminated air. When I was in the Christian church and I would see so much sickness and disease and people dying before their time and they would lie and say, oh, it's Yah's will, it's Yah's will. Of course, they didn't call him Yah, but that's a lie from the pits of Sheol. That is a lie from the pit of Sheol. They were breathing contaminated air because they would not keep the commands of the Most High Yah. Eating swine's flesh, eating pig and rabbit and shrimp and oyster and catfish, and inviting all those demons into their body, inviting all of that sickness into their bodies, and inviting all of those curses into their bodies, breathing them in, breathing in contaminated air because they would not keep the commands of the Most High Yah. Be careful, Zion. Be careful to turn neither to the right or to the left, but stay engrafted, to stay planted in the way everlasting. Pray to Yahuwah to keep you in the path of Zedekah for his great name's sake, so that you do not breathe contaminated air. So that you do not breathe contaminated air. Don't even go around people, if you can help it, that are breathing contaminated air, because you are opening yourself up to contaminated air. Thus, through our through the ambassador Shaul, he declares, wherefore come out from among them. Be ye separate, touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Come out from among them, devils, if possible. Come out from among them. But if you cannot help but to go amongst them, you make sure that you are walking the path of Zedekiah and that you are anointing yourself and setting yourself apart to the Most High Yah, and that you are praying for his covering as you go amongst these devils who are breathing contaminated air, such that it does not affect you. Such that it does not affect you. A lot of these devils are prideful. A lot of them are prideful. How many of you know that if you are around prideful people, it is going to invoke pride in you? Do you not know that pride is a spirit? That pride is a wicked spirit as well? It is identified with Leviathan and Python and Isabel, but it is a ruach of itself, in and of itself. It is a ruach. And if you are around these prideful people, then you are breathing that very same contaminated air, and that ruach of pride can in turn jump on us. Because if we associate with prideful people, it will invoke pride in us. If we hang around or associate with humble or meek people, then this will in turn invoke humility in us. Thus, the ambassador Shaul tells us to associate with the humble, associate with the meek. Personally, I want to associate with the humble and with the meek. Why? Because only the meek are going to inherit the earth. And I want to associate with them that are going to inherit the earth. Beware of contaminated air. Beware of contaminated air. The Eretz is full of contaminated air, Zion. It is full of contaminated air. It is full of demonic activity and sickness and disease and perverseness and lust and pride and all sorts of wicked ruach. And unless you are walking the path of Zedekiah, you are susceptible to that very same contaminated air. They are ruachs. They are breath. They are wind. We breathe them in. We breathe them in. But if you're walking the path of Zedekiah, only then are we breathing pure, uncontaminated air from above. Only then are we breathing pure, uncontaminated air from above. Separate yourselves. Set yourselves apart. Throw down your idols. Come out of this paganism. Come out of Babylon. This may not be for everyone who is listening to this video, but if it is for you, throw down your idols. Throw down your filth. Throw down your the lies that you've received from your fathers. And come out of her, my people. Be immersed in the true name of Yahushua, whereby being washed and cleansed from your menstrual cycle, whereby being washed and cleansed from your leprosy, whereby being washed and cleansed from your menstrual cycle, whereby being washed and cleansed from your running sores, whereby being washed and cleansed from touching the dead things of Babylon, and whereby now being privy to be reinvited back into the camp, the house of Yasharal, the Yahid, the only begotten son of Yahuwah, who the promises, the covenants, and the inheritance was given to alone. Be cleansed from your filth, began to walk the path of Zedekiah, and began to breathe pure, uncontaminated air. Receive the Ruach HaKodesh, who will come and circumcise your filthy, wicked heart, who will write the Torah of Yahuwah on it, whereby giving you a love for Torah and a willingness to do it and a willingness to walk the path of Zedekiah. Immerse yourself in the word of Yahuwah, in the Dabach, the word of Yahuwah, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Torah, the Ketubiim, and the Nabiim, the Torah, the what is called the prophets and the writings. Immerse yourself in the Torah, in the Dabah, in the word of Yahuwah, and start breathing pure, uncontaminated air. You wonder why you're sick. You wonder why you're confused. You wonder why you can't control those thoughts. You wonder why you can't get out of filth, why you can't get out of that rut. You're breathing pure. You're breathing contaminated air. Some of you, even your houses are filthy. That's a sign of demonic activity, because Yahuwah will not dwell where there is uncleanness. Our ancestors, when they were out going to war, he declared through Musha that if they were out in camp getting ready to go to war, and they had to relieve themselves by defecating, that they were to dig a hole and cover it up. Hence, Yahuwah would not come into the camp and find a fence and turn away from them. He will not deal with any kind of uncleanness. And if there is any kind of uncleanness in your life, which Torah teaches you to make a distinction from the clean and the unclean. But if there is any kind of uncleanness in your life, then you are breathing contaminated air. You are breathing in wicked ruach. You are breathing them in. You are breathing them in. Come out from among them. Come out from among them. And stop breathing that contaminated, filthy air. Shalom.